Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to a Business Communication 34th lecture. My dear students, in a previous session, we have discussed about the application letter, how to write the application letter, right? So now we will see what are the methods of application letters and the interview. What is the next step? Okay, after applying once, what is the next step? Second step is interview. Okay, so here the interviews, what do you mean by the interview? Interview is an interview is it's a formal meeting and a two-way communication where an interviewer asks the questions to interviewee, and interviewee is conversation between two or more people. So interview is the face-to-face discussion between two persons, two people. Okay, here there are two people, interviewee and interviewer. So interviewer asks the question to interviewee. Okay, so the next one is two-way communication. Means what here? As I said, there will be two person or more than two person. So one person ask a question to another. Who will ask? Interviewer asks the question to interviewee. Okay, and the next one is, here we are going to discuss today types of interview. How many types are there? What all those types we will see. A structured interview. First one is a structured interview. The structured interview is it is most commonly used. Usually, this is to be used in all the sector, and this is the preparation of questions in advance. So what does it mean? Structured means a structured format will be there. What question to be asked to the interviewee is to be decided earlier only. Before only they decide which all questions to be asked to the interviewee. Okay, and what type of questions, who will ask, like this. Before only they said the questions, and then before only they make all the arrangements for the interview. That is structured. Where to take, how to take, when to take, who has to take, okay, what's the time, everything they decide well in advance. That is structured interview. The next one is free interview or non-directing interview. So this is totally opposite to the first one. So it is also known as unstructured interview. Unstructured interview means without any particular planning. Questions are asked on the spot. So without any particular precaution, without any planning, they take the interview. They will not prepare questionnaire before only. They will not decide how to take, when to take, who has to take. It's an informal interview. Okay, simply they ask some questions, few questions, whichever they feel it is good, and then they take the interviews. And the next one is discussion or group interview. First one is structured, second one is unstructured, third one is group interview. As its name is indicating, it's a group interview. Interview is taken in group rather than individual, right? So here they are not going to take the interviews individually. They will not call person individually. They call people group together, like more than two or three, and then they sit in a place. A common topic is given to all the candidates for the discussion. So simple one topic they give. They give their opinions, their views. Okay, and the next one is board or panel interview. So what it is, board or panel interview? Is it same to the previous group interview? So here the interview is conducted by an interview board consisting of two or more members. These members are specialists in three in their own field. Okay, so here one or two person will be very perfect in one particular field, particular area, and then they will be called for the interview. They ask question to others, and they it will be like a one or two panel people will be there, board members will be there. They'll ask the questions to the applicants. See, you can see here interviewers 2 or more and interviewee, applicant is 1. Okay, and the next one is stress interview. As it is indicating, you can see in the picture how the person is stressed. Okay, so they make the people, they make the interviewee to be in stress. An interviewer deliberately put such questions to the candidate which may irritate him, which he gets irritated. Okay, so to know whether he can balance his professional as well as the uh, personal life together, as well as in the professional life, how he manage when he get stressed. So this is very important nowadays in a corporate sector. Of course, stress interviews are there. Compulsory, they conduct the stress interviews. Okay, so here by this they come to know that whether the person can manage, whether he can handle both the side, all the activities at a time. And the next one is walk-in interviews. So you can see the picture here, walk-in interview. This is a method. The advertisement is given in newspaper for the eligible post. So by the advertisement, a person, that the applicant can apply for the post. Walk-in interview. So here in walk-in interview, what happens? Directly, without applying for the job, before only they can get ready with the application and biodata, the resume. Directly they can come on the particular time, the time mentioned in the poster, that is advertisement. Okay, so what is the difference between the recruitment requirement and this walk-in interview? So walk-in interview, what happens? Directly candidate can, without applying before on that particular day, they can directly come to the organization. So for example, here interviewer give a time and place. Okay, date, time, place, and post. Regarding the post information, they provide the information, advertisement they give. And after that, a person, the applicant, if he want to attend, so directly he can come on that day, particular day. So for example, Monday at 10 o'clock at GCC main building, like this, assume. So GCC main building. Okay, so 10 o'clock means exactly that 10 o'clock the person can directly come to the GCC with his documents, right? This is walk-in interview. And the next one is formal and informal interviews. It is just like structured and unstructured interview. So formal is what? It is one which is conducted as per the schedule at the main office of the company with present questions in order to extract the answers. Formal interview. And the next one is informal interview. It is an interrogation with candidate without any predetermined questions of general nature or related to subject. As we have already discussed structured interview and unstructured interview, it is just like same only, formal interview and informal interviews. The next one is exit interview. The exit interview is one which is conducted when an employee is leaving a staff. For example, at the time of retirement, if if employer is happy with his work, if he want him again in his office only, he can conduct the exit interview after his retirement. Okay, so then that time again they can recruit the same person to the same place or to the different place if he agree. So while leaving the organization, that time also they take, like this also they take, or else on the other hand, what they can do, why the employee is leaving the organization. Exit interview. If for example, assume that you want to leave the present job and you want to get a new job, so you are going to give a letter to the resignation letter to the present employer. So present employer can ask you the question why you are leaving, what happened, and where you are going to join. Okay, some question, few questions they ask, that is like interview. It is called as interview, exit interview. Okay, and the next one is online interview. This is, my dear students, you're very familiar with online nowadays. So you are listening your classes, you are doing your exams, you are giving your exams, you are finishing with your academics with online only. Okay, so you are very familiar with this one. Online interview is a modern method of conducting the interview. In this method, there is not required to come candidate and interviewer front to front. So online. So example is online classes. You can see like that. Interviewer, they ask a question in from their place only. Interviewer, he will answer from their place. Okay. So this is online interview. In this method, there is not required to come candidate. You need not come anywhere, by wherever you are. You can sit over there. So online, you have to come and you have to answer for the question, right? This is an online interview. Do's and do nots of interviews. So what are the do's and do nots of interviews? That is like here we have to uh, properly dress up, and your dress also matters. Formal and informal dresses are not supposed to be not supposed to be wear. Formal dresses are to be wear, and then be polite, and then like this do's and do nots are to be followed while attending the interview. Okay, so this is regarding the interview types of interview, and remaining things we will discuss in our next session. Okay, I hope you understand the topic, that is meaning, types of interviews. Okay, that I hope you understand this. Structured, unstructured interviews, this that you understood. What are the do's and do nots? So before and during the interviews, what are the do's and do nots? So before is preparation for the interview must be made well in advance, right? And then a panel interview is selected on the basis of job requirements. For example, if they are recruiting accountant, on that basis the panel will be selected. When date and time should be fixed and intimated. This is for the interviewers. I am talking about the interviewers. Do's and do nots of the interviewers. Well in advance only they do it. And what are the do's and do nots for the interviewee? So before the interview, so we have to be prepared physically, mentally, and psychologically. Okay, and do not be overconfident. Don't have any fear also. Okay, and properly groomed and dressed. Carry a suitable file or a briefcase. Nowadays briefcase is not it is not required, it is not needed. File is enough. And revise the subjects studied for the complete examination and courses. Knowledge of specialization must be updated in resume. Do not try to reach the venue hurriedly. Reach well in advance. So if they say at 10 o'clock, you be there at 9:30. The next one is, it is necessary to look a clearly and a resume submitted to employer. So do not carry any unnecessary papers and documents with you while going to the interview. Keep reading the dailies and particularly on that day of interview, concentrated on headlines, newspapers. Know in advance about the company, form various sources, and like this. And during interview, take care of body movements and postures. Standing, walking, sitting postures reveal a good information to the interviewers. Do not offer to shake hands unless extended by interviewers. Okay, and express good manners and show an acceptable conduct. Do not sit until asked to do so. Wait for till then proceed to seek permission. Say politely, may I sit down, if not asked to sit by the interviews. Otherwise, don't drag the chair noisily. And then sit comfortably with good postures. Do not put hands on the table. Have eye contact with interviewers. Show your readiness to receive questions. Do not try to see somewhere as if avoiding questions. Okay, so practice keeping hands comfortable when not using them to answer or justify. Do not be nervous and uncomfortable. Do not be arrogant and aggressive. Do not interrupt interviewers. Speak when supposed to do. Do not bluff. Say no if answer is not known. Do not play with hairs, fingers, nails. Do not argue, and then do not play with the hairs, fingers, nails, etc. Do not argue if disagreeing with anything, and do politely. Do not treat the interview an end in itself, right? So I hope you understand, and at the end thank the interviewer, and do not offer shake hand again, and but be quick if offered by them. Okay, get up gracefully, collect all the papers, files, and do not hurry to leave the room. Be peaceful. Put the chair back in its place, shut the door noiselessly. Right? This is, I hope you understand, do's and do nots of the interviewee. Okay, means candidate. Interviewee is a candidate. I hope you understand this. So, with this, I'll conclude the topic of the interview topic we will conclude, and next topic will be the regarding the application. That next is biodata, resume, how to prepare resume. That's it. Okay, so we'll continue in the next session. Thank you.